Hello everyone, games are paused for a few days. We're going to resume in the upcoming days. So today we have another subject from history. This time it's Necropotence, in particular 1999 Pro Tour Chicago. This is the infamous tournament where Brian Davis misplayed. I don't mean to throw him under the bus. I mean, he was young, and he made it to the finals of a Pro Tour, and he was clearly competent. I assume he was just overexcited about the situation. Brian Davis was about to win the whole thing thanks to the sheer power of this card. Unfortunately, inexperience combined with young age caused some major misplays, and Brian lost in 5 games to Bob Maher. Blue-white-green control deck. Attendants believed that Brian Davis should have won every game, and eventually he lost. In a game, Brian got his corrupt countered by force of will because he did not use the Wasteland he had in play to reduce Bob's land count down to 4. In another game, he used Drain Life for 4 instead of maximum amount, so Bob had the chance to animate the land, use Swords to Plowshares, and the extra lives allowed him to survive. So Bob won the game and eventually the series. So let's take a closer look at Brian's deck. So he has Dark Ritual, so he can get Necropotence out on turn 1. Demonic Consultation helps finding Necropotence. Duress and Unmask protect his plan, and they also disrupt his opponents. Then he plays Big, Corrupt and Drain Life, so he can get some life points back and draw even more. Brilliant stuff. He can also play Spinning Darkness for free, 3 damage, 3 life. Also Contagion for free, completing the list to Skittering Skirge as the only creatures. Nevinyrral's disc can deal with everything, mostly Ivory Musk. He also has 4 Wastelands. Very straightforward, 1 color, good answers, solid mana base. This deck looks invincible, like without even knowing the rest of the field. Let's take a look at the rest of the top 8. We have 2 Oath of Druids. Dirk has blue-green. Bob also has white for Enlightened Tutor, Swords to Plowshares and Sideboard cards, and I like that. So this is a complex deck with so many good cards, a control deck with counterspells, morphling, and utility stuff. Also Oath of Druids and relevant creatures. Bob also has Shard Phoenix. This looks good against Slivers, and we'll get there. Then we have a nice artifact deck, Suicide Artifact. I would rather call this Voltaic Key deck, with Mana Vault, Green Monolith, Phyrexian Colossus, Thran Dynamo, Tinker. These cards all work well with Voltaic Key. Also Masticore against creatures. And I assume Bob was going to like his Hour of Silence against this deck, just like Brian was going to have fun with the Nevinyrral's disc. Cocoa Pebbles, a combo deck that relied on Goblin Bombardment and Academy Rector. So you sacrifice Rector, get Enduring Renewal in play, so you can play 0 drops infinite times, so you can deal infinite damage with Bombardment. Raphael Levy was playing a nice survival opposition deck with Stever Queen, Winter Orb, counterspells, and a package of creatures with useful enter the battlefield effects. Then the Sliver deck with Demonic Consultation, the card of the tournament. Also Misdirection, counterspells, disenchant, Swords to Plowshares. This looks like an aggro counter strategy. Most notably Crystalline, Hibernation Sliver, Winged Sliver, Muscle Sliver, Acidic Sliver. so like 22 drops. And the last deck is a mono blue control deck. LD looks like this stands for Land Destruction, Wasteland, Dust Bowl. Then it has Masticore, Treachery, Morphling, Counterspells, Powder Keg, classic stuff. The sideboard doesn't scream anything in particular, just more answers, Persecute, more Nevinyrral discs, Perish and Dystopia against green creatures, Powder Keg, Planar Void stops combos. The Oath of Druids decks, they look like they don't find use for Oath of Druids because Brian is not playing creatures, a couple Skittering Skirge. So even though I have not played these decks just by watching, I think that Brian had the best deck in the tournament. The finals, I have watched them, and yes, he was supposed to win. In general, I think Necropotence was supposed to win against this field. And what do you think about this top 8? Let me know. Thanks for watching and see you soon.